The first parameter we have is the option to choose our stiffener type. We can select between any one Practicat offers. Here you can see we have an angle type 1 on the drawing. We might switch it to an L bracket. And for much of this tutorial, we're going to work with an I-beam type 1. We have channels, hats, Z-beams. Just look through your list of choices, select the one you want, and Practicat will display it in the preview. The length add parameter allows us to choose a value that will dictate how far the stiffener sticks out of either end of the fitting. For example, right now we have the length add parameter set at 0. That means that the stiffener is flush with the side of the duct. It is not sticking out at all. However, if we were to give a value here like 4 inches, that would mean that on either end of the fitting, we have 4 inches of stiffener sticking out. The interference parameter makes sure that when you go to place stiffeners on the width and the depth of the fitting, that those stiffeners do not interfere with each other. The value you put in here will be the distance between the stiffeners on the depth from the stiffeners on the width. For example, if we were to put in the interference 6 inches and we were to put stiffeners on both the width and depth and measure the distance between them, you would know they are never closer than 6 inches. That is the value of interference. For example, we're going to exit out of this screen. And here on the drawing we have duct with the PCAD stiffener on both the width and the depth. And you can see here, looking in plan view, that the distance between the stiffeners on the width and the stiffeners on the depth is always going to be 6 inches or greater. That's the interference. It means nothing less than 6 inches is allowed in between two stiffeners on both width and depth. The next 3 parameters, the thickness, size, and growth, will control the overall appearance of the stiffener itself. Thickness means the thickness of the overall stiffener. Right now in the I-beam you've got 3 parts, the top, center, and bottom. And if we measured how big each of those parts were, they would be 1/4 inch thick. If we switch it to a 1/2 inch, now you'd have a 1/2 inch thick on each part. Then we've got size. The size parameter is basically going to control the width. Here we're rolling up with the wheel mouse. You can see that it's getting larger. Now we're going to roll down. It's going to get smaller. The growth would do the height. If we raise the growth, you can see the stiffener is getting taller. If we lower the growth, you can see the stiffener is getting shorter. So we choose our sizing parameters: thickness, size, and growth. The last parameter we currently have for the common parameters is the weight. Practicat is capable of calculating the weight of an entire duct line, and if you would like the stiffeners to be accounted for when you're calculating that weight, you would need to put in the weight for each stiffener. You can see if we go over to Practicum, over here in Practicum, looking at this external stiffeners, you can see here under common parameters that we have got the weight pounds per foot. And whatever we put here is the same number we'd want to put in our Practicat if we'd like to get the proper weight.